Hello and welcome to this Swift UI programming video. My name is David Thorne. In this video I'm going to show you how to download lots of images and then basically come to a detail view and display the better version of the image. So in the beginning we're going to download the thumb, the smallest, quickest version, to display them in a list. And using the magic of editing on the screen, I'm going to show you what it looks like at the end. And so we're going to create a list of all of the images. These images are all going to come from the Unsplash API, and we're then going to display them and load them asynchronously. And when we click on one of them, tap on one of them, it's going to go to the detail view, and that's where we're going to download the large image. All right. And that's what we're going to do. So with that said, rather than explain it, you've seen a quick demonstration on the screen right now of what the end product looks like. Let's go ahead and start it. Now, if you haven't seen the previous video, we basically, I didn't write this code in the previous video, but what I did is I showed you how to, modify the code to show you how to cache the code when you download it. At the end of the video, I will go ahead and clean this up, right? But we're going to leave it for now. But if you keep watching, we will clean this code up for future videos. With that said, we need to come over to the content view first of all, because it's just showing these three images. And what we actually want to do is display a list of these images using the thumbnails, all right? And so let's just remove this. We need a navigation stack because we said we want to navigate to a photo itself, all right? And in here, we're going to say a list. And this is then going to need to have photos here as well. So we need to come up to here and add a state property of photos. And these are then going to be Unsplash, an array of Unsplash photos, which is going to be empty in the beginning. This does comply with identifiable. So we can just say photo in here. We then want to display an H stack because I don't just want to display the image. I want to display the Unsplash image view on the left-hand side where we can say photo. And we know this type is already thumb, but we'll just be explicit about it. And then we'll display a V stack here, and we'll use the leading alignments. And in here we'll display, I don't know, the photo. What have we got? The user, and then name or something. Name, that's good. And then we'll display, let's have a look in the file what we got. The current user, collection, raw user, name is a good one. Do we get any information? Oh, description. There we go. We'll just display the description. That's it. So then we'll just do description here. Okay, and I think that could be empty, so we'll display the alt description instead. What did I do wrong there? Okay, and then let's just do it like this is far easier. Let's do description is equal to photo description, and if it does have a description, that's what we'll display instead. All right, rather than messing around with thousands. Okay, oh no, we want that one there, photo description, that's better. All right, so it's going to display a description if it has one. All right, so this now needs obviously the photo, so we can come down to here. But before we forget this, before we forget to do this, we need a destination for it, and we're going to say it's going to be a photo, and we can have the photo here. And this is then going to go to the detail view, and we can say Unsplash image view and photo, and this is then going to the type is then going to be the large one. All right. All right, so that's enough now. We now need to load the actual images, and we can do that in the task here. And I've got a function written already, get Unsplash resources for endpoints, and per page we'll say 20. And we can say receive on, we'll say the run loop, and main, and we'll say sync. We need a completion handler here, which we're not going to handle, but we're just going to let's just put it with an underscore instead. And then here I'm going to call these items in the beginning because they could be empty, so we're just going to say get photos equals items with a guard statement. So we know that we are actually getting photos when we actually get them. We will need some cancelable here as well. And we need to make that a state too, which means we need combine. So we have to import combine up here. And now we have that. We want to store our cancelable in here as well. So we'll just say store it in there. And now we have our photos. All right. What we do know is that our Unsplash image view is going to handle all of the processing of the images. All right. So we should be set to just say self photos dot photo. All right. And we also know that it's going to cache them, it's going to save them, it's going to do everything that we need to do this. All right. Now this what happened there? Okay, this is not going to display at the moment because I don't have the access key there. And if we come here just to show you completion, and we'll say switch completion case finished and case failure and error, and we then print the error out, and we just say print finished. It should say there should be an error down here. And finished, okay. The likelihood is that this is actually nil. Let's just come here and say print is nil because of... Okay. Well, we're not getting any images anyway. Let's just run this in the simulator. I know I don't have a access key because I removed it. So let's just have a look here. And the items are nil because there's a problem going on with inside of the request because I don't have the access key. So I'm going to add it in the background now. And where am I going to add it? Well, I'm going to add it inside of this box, which I'm not going to show you. Okay, when we run this again, we should now have some images here. And we do. Okay, so there we go. Right. And as you can see here, when we run this, they're all nicely loading, right? And nicely displaying our image. We want to, we said scale to fit. All right, that was all I wanted to see. We're not really caring about what this looks like. We want just the functionality, and we can see all the images are working, and we haven't put it in a navigation. We want to put it in a navigation link, and the value is then going to be then the photo. And then the view is going to look like that. And when we get this, you'll see that it comes into the image. And let's just come to the destination view. And let's put navigation title is then going to be photo user name as well. And we run this, you see we get it just works nicely. All right. So this is not really difficult to do. As you can see, it took a little bit of code, but not a great amount of code, and yeah, it just works nicely. You could put down here like a progress view with inside of a scroll view to make an infinite scroll, and you'd replace this list with a scroll view instead and a for each list. Maybe I'll do that in another video. But anyway, with that said, if we keep coming to this, you will see that doesn't seem to be caching that image. All right, let's have a look in the simulator what it looks like now. That's interesting. Let's have a look. So we come to let's put a let's put hit in here, and we'll say photo. Whoops. Yeah, we want. I've got my caps locks on. Photo ID, and then we'll put where are we here? We put miss here instead, and when we run this again, we'll see whether we're getting a hit on the image. We got hits, right? And we got a hit as well. So let's just delete this. So we got a hit. It's just loading it into. Oh, we got a miss on that. This one here. Okay, we got a hit. So it's loading it into memory. Okay, got a miss on the beginning. and we've got hit this time. So that's all it is it's just a slight delay in loading it from memory. We've got a miss there, and we got hit once again. All right, so we can expect just a very, very short amount. Now, if you wanted to speed this up, you could keep these images in memory itself as well. But realistically speaking, seeing a loading view just for the slight amount, look, we've got 40 megabytes worth of memory use at the moment. It's not much, and reading from the disk is pretty fast, especially if you like. I mean, I have an iPhone 12 Pro, which I think is amazing. The 13, 14, 15, 16, they've got better batteries, they've got better processors, they've got better everything. So if on my iPhone 12 it looks brilliant already, then the newest iPhones and the future iPhones are going to be even better anyway. With that said, that's now the main part of this one video done. If you don't want to watch me cleaning this code up, then I just want to say right now, thank you very much for watching. If you've got something out of this one video, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and do all of the other social media things out there. And if you've got any questions, feedback, or concerns, then feel free to start a conversation in the comment section down below. Other than that, I'm not going to finish the video right now. Other than that, my name's David Thorne. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Now, for everyone else that wants to continue watching me clean this code up, then thank you very much for continuing. We will now, I don't know how long this is going to take, but we're going to clean this code up right now. What I will do, just very, very quickly, no, actually, no, we're just going to continue. Right, so the place that irritates me the most is inside this Unsplash image view here. So we're going to just extract this to be an image downloader, right? We're going to call it an image downloader, and this is going to be an observable object here. And this is where it's going to do the bulk of the work, all right? So we're not going to cut it out for the time being, but we'll place it into here and say download here, all right? Because this really only needs to know about, it doesn't need to know about the actual photo ID. All it needs to know about is the URL itself. But what we could do is we can say download URL here. This is the URL to download it. And then we can say cache name, all right? Cache name is here. So this is then the cache name of the actual file. Whoops, spelled that wrong. Because we want it to be, we want this image downloader to be able to work on, you know, anything. You don't have to be specifically bound to Unsplash. All right. So we've got the file manager can stay, but the file manager can come outside of here, and the cache path can also come outside of here too. That's fine. Which will take this, and we'll do string here. And now we can return it like that. That needs to be a var. Happy days. So cache URL. This is where we need to take the cache ID and the cache path. That's there. That's fine. Yeah, this is good. The cache name, and then we can come in here and plus the cache name on here too. All right. That's good. So now we know whether or not this path exists. We will have a published here, and this is then going to be image, and we'll say it's an image view here, a UI image, excuse me, which means that we can populate it here. We can now come and say the cache name instead, rather than hitting the photo ID, which means we can come down here and say cache name again. We don't have an error, so we need to add an error. Let's just copy and paste this. And rather than doing just the string, let's actually make it an error instead. So the people using, or the code using this image downloader can actually see the error itself. We need cancelable inside of here too. That's good. And that's then fixed that. We missed that. Let's have our own queue, all right? Rather than using the global queue, let's make our own queue, and we'll do init and say image downloader downloader queue. And this attributes is going to be concurrent because we want it to be a background task, right? Let's just make this private 2. So we can remove this now and say queue instead. And it's referencing self. That's good. Yeah, that's fine. So that we could remove this to a function. So we can catch this error here as well. Right here, self error is equal to error, and maybe we could make this an array of errors instead and make that empty. So we could then append the error, all right, and copy and paste this and copy and paste that. So if we do get multiple errors, at least we are passing those errors on all the time. All right, the image UI image view here. Yeah, sorry, just the UI image. Let's just say, assume that we're just going to be using iOS for the time being, or UI kit. So we'll allow this. If you wanted to support Mac, this is where you would use the likes of a macro. That we are finished. That's fine. We could handle the error here, but let's first of all cache name we don't have. The file exists. Load the image, that's fine. Oh, we've got another error here as well. So let's say errors, append error. Let's rename this errors instead rather than error. That's all right. Let's see how, let's take this for a test drive first of all, shall we? So we'll come here and we'll say states object and say downloader. And this is going to be an image downloader. We now come to here and say downloader is equal to a state object, and we'll say init, all right? Which means that we should be able to remove all of this now. So let's say image, or let's say downloader, and say download URL. So we need to come just here first of all, and this is then the URL to the image that we want to download is the photo URL, and where do we've got the URL saved here, excuse me, so we just need the URL to be here, and then the cache name is just going to be this here, so we can get rid of all of this. Happy days. And we don't need any of this now, right? So we now have this, and we should have no images anymore because nothing shows, all right? It's always going to be loading. So we have to be checking now the downloader image here instead, right? Whoops. The image is equal to downloader image instead. There we go. Okay, so now we have this one image. And we could say here, whilst, so if downloader, if downloader errors is empty, right, then we'll display loading. Else we'll say for each download errors as error, and in, and here we can say then error local. What's going on here? And let's just get this running first of all. What was this here? Downloader image. What did I do wrong here? Publish file. Yeah, that's correct. What are you not liking? Okay, we need to put this in a group, all right, because it's not liking this because it's going to send back two different views. It's going to send back either a view there. Okay, let's have a think about this. We need to send back one view within inside of this one group for the view builder, because we're sending back either an array of text here at the moment, or just a text itself. So let's just go ahead and do this nice and simple, right? We'll make a for each loop, right? And we'll say download errors, right? If it's empty, then we'll display here loading, else we'll display download errors, and this is then going to be and we'll map this to be local description here instead, which means we'll take this and we'll say which one are we looking at? Item here, right, in. And this, this item in is going to come inside of here, which means now we only get one view being returned. It's not liking that still. Okay, what's it not liking? Download errors is empty, loader. Maybe we need to have here ID is self. There we go. Okay, so it's okay with that now. So we know we've got one view now. If we've always got a list of items going down, all right, and we can put them in a VStack as well, I suppose, to make it a bit better, and place them in a VStack instead, which means we can remove the group and we can put it down like that instead, and this can be aligned to center or whatever. All right, happy days. So that's now this done, which means we can take this image loader and we can place it in a new file because we know it's working now, and say image loader there, come back to here and remove that, come and clean this up, come here, we need combine. For the time being we need SwiftUI as well. Let's just put, yeah, we'll leave that like that. Let's see whether we can initialize this any better. Those don't, but we'll I don't like the queue being done like that, and they can be removed. Yeah, I don't like the queue being done how it's being done. All right, let's say queue is equal to that, like that. I prefer these being at the top. The file manager can be private. These can be private. This can be private too. So we can clean that up. Let's put this at the top. That's good. All right, and if we wanted to use this outside of it, we could use this outside of it too, and we could use this outside of it too. So we now have an image downloader that can be used for multiple images, and it can collect all of the errors too if we got them. Now let's have a think about this. The image downloader is bound to that one Unsplash image view instead, so it means they all get their own image downloader, which is good. We all then we say download URL here at the bottom, which is good. We could now make an extension on photo and say let's say let's rename this photo image type instead, and say get cache name for type, and say photo image type, and do string, which means we can take we can take this here like that. That's good. And we can say ID here. So now we've at least encapsulated that inside of photo instead. And we can then say photo image types. This is more bound to the photo instead. And we could actually just put this inside of photo rather than that. And so we're extending photo now with the image type. And here we can say photo.image type like this. So it doesn't mean to say there could be another like namespace problem with image types being there from another thing. That's super possible. All right. So we now have this photo image type. We now can for type. So now we want to extend this. So get URL for image type. So let's say image type here and URL, and now we can extract this out as well, and we can say return and return and return. We can remove this photo because we don't need that anymore. That then does the self URL is equal to photo get URL for image type, and that then image type is there. Happy days. So that cleans this piece of code up now too. We now we're looking a lot cleaner now, so we can now take this and put our photo extensions inside of its own file. So we can say photo plus extensions and come back here and extract that out and place this in here. And now Unsplash API, that's good, which this now should have this once again. Good. Right, now our view has got a little bit smaller. We can now, we've now got this downloaded image. Yeah, that's fine for the time being. The errors, we don't need this error anymore. We don't need that anymore because they're used otherwise by other stuff. If we wanted to let other people use this too, we could do public, 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 and so on. And the thumb in, yeah, okay, that needs to be public. What's it? No, we'll just do this here. Let's make that public. Make that public. I might move all this stuff to the splash here. Okay, that's all public now. That's all public there. That's good. We now have this data here. That's all image downloader. That's fine. We could definitely take this session and place this session up here as well, because you could make your own session if you wanted to, and it would be probably a good idea actually to make your own session to be able to configure the actual URL session cache as well, rather than just but this is one part of the cache. What's this then? Cannot infer contextual based reference shared. Oh yeah, we want shared there. That's better. Okay, so yeah, we could have this request also cached too. So it means that we're also saving information there, and yeah. So we have one level. We have the level that we've caching it on the file system, which means that if we come here, if that cache doesn't exist, however, the session has cached that information too, then we've got a second level of caching also. And you could then put it into the memory also too, which I'm not going to do. So image download has that there. Let's run the application to make sure it's all working fine as well. There we go, good. So we've got hits. This is probably going to be a miss, yes, but when we come back, it's going to be a hit again. It is. Happy days. There we go. That's a miss, but it's all working. It's all working as is. Let's come back to the content view to see what the content view looks like. This can come with inside of the photos extensions, and that can be extracted to that there. That's good. Let's have another look. Let's clean this up. Photos. All right, this is now where this get unsplash resources, we could just extract this to another observable object that could contain these photos, because you know this logic here doesn't, and we're going to do that. We'll do that. We will do class unsplash photo photos downloader here, and this is also going to be an observable object, and we'll need published. I could have just copied and pasted this, but I just feel for the sake of the video that you know people want to see this stuff done manually, which is all right. I'm all right with that. And we want then the cancelable to, and we'll say download, and you could go with pages here too. So we could say page, and that's an integer per page, and that's an integer also, and we'll say page is equal to 1, and then per page is equal to 10, for example, and then we can say page here, and then per page here too. Happy days. So now we want to update self.photos, that's fine, and here we can publish then the errors to, if we have any, and that could be empty in the beginning. And so here we can say errors dot append, whoops, not that, dot append new elements and error also, and we say we're finished. Don't need that to be like that there. No images. It could be that it was just empty or whatever. We'll say private to this. We'll say public to this because we might want to use it outside of this. We'll give it initializer as well. We don't need initializer that looks like that. Just give it initializer so someone else could initialize it too. And these want to be public also. And this wants to be public also. Happy days. So now we have download page here, which we can now come to our view and say state object is downloader, and this is then a unsplash downloader, and now we can come to initializer and say downloader state object once again and unsplash here. Happy days. So we now can remove this again, and we can say downloader download page. We'll say per page is what we're going to update to 20 again, so how it was before. We don't now have any photos, so let's just remove photos and cancelable to show that it's going to break. And we can say downloader photos as well. Let's run this again, and we should have all of the same hits exactly, but now our view is a lot smaller. Let's now extract this view here to be its own. Let's extract this image downloader first of all, and put this in this one file, and do that. Happy days. Cut and paste this into there. Swift UI and combine, and also unsplash library. Yes, that's good. Okay, this is now going to be its own view too. So let's just say we can, let's just use, what am I doing? New file, and it's going to be a Swift UI file, and it's going to be an unsplash splash list item, or let's say photo list item. Happy days. And we just copy and paste, or cut and paste, excuse me, this to there. This needs a photo. This needs a photo, just like that there. We need to import unsplash library here, and this needs a photo here, which is where the photo example comes into play. And when we run this, we should get an image here as well. Good stuff. We could make this a lot prettier, but we're not going to for this view. It's not the point of this one video. Unsplash photo is then there, and unsplash image view, and now we want to have the next detail view. All right, so we're going to say unsplash photo detail view. There we go, and we take this and place this inside of here, and we say photo and photo. We need unsplash once again. Unsplash once again, and we say here photo.example, and we'll place this into a navigation stack as well, so we get the same effect as we did before. Happy days, and we want display. It's going to be in line too. There we go. All right, so that's now we now need the unsplash detail for photo, which means now we've reduced this all the way down to like 38 lines, 39 lines, just to include the extra line on the bottom, and we can now place a navigation title to say photos here too, and we want to say display. I don't like this for this scenario, in line. Happy days. All right, so that takes you now there. I don't think there's much more we can do with this, so let's now show the viewers what they get in the final thing. So this is, if you were watching the beginning of the video, this is what I was showing in the beginning of the video. All right, there we go. So we've now managed to clean this up nicely. Let's just go through and see whether we can clean it up and possibly make a new group. So unsplash. It's there, that one there. That's good. That all goes into this folder, which I can export to the actual library, and we get it. All right, so there we go. Thank you very much for watching all the way through to the end. Like I said, don't forget, if you did like this, if you like the extra content, then don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and do all of the other social media things. As you can see here, I've not edited. I'm not going to edit this last bit because you can see the time up here is always moving in the seconds, and it's unedited. With that said, thank you very much for watching. If you want to have access to this content here, you're going to have to become a member. All right, and that's it. So you're going to have to become a member if you want to have access to this content. And the likelihood is I will probably put this type of content here behind the membership wall as well. But as a little bit of a teaser for you people that watch these videos, I'll keep them in the videos for the time being. But if you want to watch them in the future, you're going to have to become a member. With that said, thank you very, very much for watching all the way through to the end. My name's David Thorne, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao. Goodbye.